Okay, Ian Zero is back, and I did not expect this, but apparently Cure is a puppet master. Yeah, he's responsible for like half the evil in the cosmos. So I guess I should just start from the beginning, where Holy is actually excited the fact that Cure is there, and she straight up says to him, "Hey, now since you're here, I don't know why, but who cares? We can work together to destroy the core." And Cure responds by shooting a laser through her side where her ribs are. So obviously, with a hole in her, she collapses. And Cure responds by saying, "I am Dead End Crow's power source." And he's actually sad that she came this far because she wouldn't have had to have found out otherwise the truth of the whole situation. And he explains that the universe needs balance. Good and evil must exist in tandem with each other, and he, in turn, is both good and evil. Yeah, so he's just an insane in person. Either that, or he's an android, which he is an android, who's overly taken into his programming. Yeah, so he says the interstellar union needs to shine brightly in the light, but for that to happen, there needs to be darkness that pollutes the cosmos for it to destroy. For decades, apparently, possibly even centuries, he has been creating evil so he can then eliminate it. Basically, he creates darkness so the light can destroy it. And he does this over and over again. He says our purpose is to save the cosmos from evil, but for that to happen, there has to actually be evil for us to save the cosmos from, which is why he's either, once again, a robot who needs to create his own purpose so he can then follow his programming to then destroy that evil, or he's just batshit crazy and a piece of shit. Either way, he's doing something that is completely psychopathic, where he's the reason why he straight up says that he didn't just create Dead End Crow, he gave Bracken Drake and Nero their power. Now, he doesn't say if it's their ether gear he gave them, or if it was Nero's dice and Dead End Crow's ability to take people's lifeline. Either way, it doesn't matter. The point is, he gave them the power they needed, and then their darkness just slowly festered, and he let it watch, and he let it go out of control until eventually it was time for the light to destroy them. Holy obviously is confused and says she has no idea what you're talking about, which, yeah, I'm not surprised. What he's saying is batshit crazy, but he's still monologuing, basically saying that Dead End Crow is his greatest masterpiece, where his darkness is deepest and most twisted he's ever created. And he straight up says to Holy, "I always knew you'd be the one to finally destroy Dead End Crow. You would be the light that gets rid of the darkness. The problem is, I can't let you do that right now." So he wants Holy to kill Dead End Crow. He just doesn't want her to do it right now. He has a plan. Once again, his plan is create darkness, let it fester till it creates a light, and then have the light destroy the darkness at a certain point in time where it's appropriate, and then repeat the process over and over again. Yeah, not really a plan. That's just you having OCD at that point. Holy's pissed. She screams at him, "How could you create all these evils that we risk our lives to fight?" And he straight up says, "Well, I don't create all of them. Ziggy and Agnolia are all natural evils that exist in the cosmos. I have nothing to do with them. Also, Elsie and Nock, they're also natural. Not really evil, but he just gave them bad names. Basically, he made people think they were evil. That's about it. And that's basically their result. So he didn't actually create them. He didn't cause them to cause chaos and destruction across the cosmos either. So not everything is his fault, but yet 3 out of the 6 Oration 6 is that's a lot of destruction. So Holy then asks if he's responsible for Bloody Autonomous Day, and we just immediately skip over to Eraser and Feather, where Feather says her power isn't able to track one person, and then Eraser says, "Yeah, my power is about destroying things. I can't really help you with that. Ask Cure for help. He can probably fix it for you." And then she says, "This line is disconnected from Cure. I made sure he can't talk to us, because inside Cure's ship is no one. It's on autopilot. I don't know where he's at." And that's when basically Eraser clicks in, "Oh, that's not good." So yeah, they might be catching on that Cure might be their enemy, either that or they might be thinking that he's been kidnapped or whatever. But the point is, they're obviously now suspicious of Cure, which, yeah, it shouldn't be surprising that he'd be willing to go this far at this point. Also, that also answers my question, wasn't he in the ship before? Yeah, no, it's always been on autopilot. He just used a video recording to make it look like he was in the ship fighting alongside everyone else. I'm glad that question was answered. So we finally get a flashback of what happened on that day, and basically it was a giant celebration, a parade meant to celebrate a hero of their planet, and Dead End Crow just shows up and just starts killing. He just stomped on people, he lit buildings on fire, he destroyed everything around him, and he laughed while doing it. It's clear that he actually just is a complete and utter murder machine. Cure created him to be the greatest evil in the universe, and yeah, Yeah, that's basically what he is. He's just pure evil who kills for the sake of killing. There really isn't anything else to it. And when this was happening, Holy and her sister got separated, and when one of the buildings that collapsed that Dedencro was destroying crushed her little sister, who was like 8 years old, just to death before she could get to her. Apparently, it was her sister who wanted to be the champion of justice and wanted to be the one that fought, apparently, to protect the cosmos, not Holy. But yeah, after Dedencro was done doing what he was doing, he then took all the surviving women, stripped them naked, and then basically crucified them in the town square. And slowly and surely, each woman began to die one by one, except for Holy. Holy actually survived that day. She's the only survivor. And Kira's like, yes, I know. That's when the story was decided. That's when you became the light that would destroy the darkness that is Dedencro. So yeah, he's straight up happy that Holy decided to go on a revenge-soaked bloodbath after this. That was basically part of his plan. Create darkness that would lead to a light. So Holy, while trying to stand up, asks, why Swan? Why'd you have to attack there? And Kira says, you still don't get it. It doesn't matter where. As long as darkness exists, a light will be created to destroy that darkness. And that's what he got. Dedencro murdered and crucified people, and this will lead to Holy wanting to get her revenge. It led to her seeking out justice. Holy then asked if that's it. Did Sarah really have to die? Did 1 million people have to lose their lives just for that? And Kira basically says, I'm tired of repeating myself. For us to be the light, there must be darkness for us to destroy. And Holy's like, yeah, but the light doesn't create the darkness. And Kira's response to that is, yes, that is why I am good. And Holy then screams at him, you are nothing but evil, and punches him across the area that they're in. They're in Dedencro, so I don't really know how to describe what area it would be. It's not like they're like in a living room or anything like that. So she just punches him across the room that they're in. And so she's pissed off with the fact that he lied to all of them, to their allies, to their friends. He created evil. He caused all of this death and destruction for nothing. And again, Kira's response is, without evil, we cannot be good. And Holy says, will you stop saying we? Quit associating me with some vile evil like you. Oh, you have no right to give prayers to the stars. By the way, that's very much a Rave Master a reference, praying to the stars. And Kira's like, well, it doesn't matter because you can't do anything without your ether gear. And then all you see is her ether gear pounding up through her arms. And Kira is surprised by this and stunned. And Holy's like, oh, thank God, Keely's alive. And of course, Keely's back, once again, deactivating Dedencro's anti-ether thing. And then there's a clash between her and Holy with their ether gears. That's when Herman is back in the cockpit, announces that Crow's mobility is down, and this is the perfect chance for them to fire off their main cannon. And that's the end of the chapter. So yeah, Kira is insane. The fact that he wants to be a good that requires evil to fight, and so he creates his own evil so he can then fight it. And he's been doing this for decades, because Dragon Drake is old, like real old, and if he's the mastermind behind Dragon Drake, then that means this guy has been the constant source of evil going back for who knows how long. I can imagine his death count is probably in the upper 100 millions at this point. It has to be. There's no way that this guy could constantly for decades create evil that spread out, destroyed, killed, and maimed, and not be responsible for at least 100 million dead at this point. Like, this guy is a genocidal maniac. Also, he could play the hero. Complete lunatic. This guy makes Syndrome look like a man with a plan. So yeah, Holy will most likely ignore Hermit's order to evacuate, and will probably just keep on fighting. Especially since the fact that even if they did fire the cannon, unless they hit Cure with the cannon, it ain't gonna do shit. They have to kill Cure. He's the source of Dedencro's power. But yeah, this chapter actually got me super hyped. Like, last week I was like, okay, this is an okay chapter. I don't really care if Cure, because I didn't know Cure, I didn't know his personality, his desires, anything about him. So the fact that he was a twist villain didn't mean shit to me. But now, yeah, no, I'm entertained at the moment. This is good. Let's keep going with this. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe, give a thumbs up so you enjoy more Eden Zero and other anime things. Thank you and have a great day.